Busy week for the club, but things seem to be settling down under the new coach.
Yeah, I think so. I think, we're getting used to, the way that he works and the way that, we're functioning as a team. I think we look really strong in the attack, but also, a couple clean sheets are really important for us. So I like the way that the team is working at the moment. And, yeah, now it's just about finding some consistency and just keep going.
A special day for you, and I know the result has gone against you, but as much as being made, you're a boyhood Wolves fan. Yes. I mean, can you believe you're manager in the Premier League here at Stamford Bridge today?
No, it was a bit surreal, I have to say, coming into it. But, I'm surprising myself how calm I've been on the side. I obviously share the frustrations that the fans share as well. So, but yeah, it's for me personally an amazing day, and hopefully there's a little bit more of it to come.
And after the match, I caught up with the Chelsea manager, Graham Potter. Firstly, Graham, many congratulations. Another win. Still unbeaten as Chelsea manager. Must be enjoying it so far.
So far, yeah. It's exciting. It's a challenge. We've had a really strong week. Crystal Palace away is a big win for us, and then to follow it up with the Champions League, and then today, not easy on a Wednesday and a Saturday in the Premier League. So credit to the players. It was a strong performance from especially first half, and then had to hang on a little bit in the second half, but overall I think deserved to win.
You've made some significant changes in your first few games. Is part of that having to look at all the players you've got, or is it because of the busy schedule?
I think it's a bit of both, plus just thinking about the right team to win. The schedule's so tough that there's not too much recovery time. You've got to think about the individuals, slight little injuries, little illnesses here and there. So just have to try and select the best team that we think can give us the chance to perform well.
What's the biggest difference you've noticed so far between managing Brighton and Chelsea?
Well, there's more media, there's more interest in the club, of course. The games are different. I mean, we've had 2 Champions League matches. The first one was a bit surreal because you don't even know the players really, and you're standing there trying to prepare the Champions League match. So, but apart from that, it's still football. There's still ambitious players that want to do well, want to be in the team, disappointed when they're not. So far, I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, obviously, it's hugely beneficial to have a big squad with lots of fabulous talent. But within that, I presume, brings problems that perhaps you wouldn't have had at Brighton.
Well, you can only pick 11, and generally the squads are 20 plus, so there's always disappointment. I think how you handle that disappointment, how you react as a group is really, really important, and it's something we've talked about a lot. But that's my job, that's the challenge. All you can do is communicate as honestly as you can, and then it's my decision to make the team selection, and so far everybody's been really supportive and, like I said, honest and responsible.
So far so good, Graham. Wish you all the very best for the rest of the season. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For Chelsea, and a tough start, of course, for Steve Davis, who was always going to struggle, wasn't he, against a good Potter?
Oh my God, really, Gary?
Oh, give me a break.
You're better than that.
Anyway. Lots of changes. They didn't let them affect them unduly. Cue Micah.
No, they've got a great squad, haven't they, Chelsea? I mean, no Aubameyang, no Sterling, but the attackers really did well today. Gallagher, Mount, Pulisic and Havertz. You see the formation here, we've got it as a 4-2-3-1, but it's a hybrid formation. You've seen it at Brighton, it can chop and change, go to a 3, but Mount, his link-up today was excellent. He's not started the season particularly well, but today I thought he had a really good game. A little bit of link-up here, and probably should have done better there. Gallagher. Pulisic, who's been in and out of the team, he's been having various interviews talking about he's not been happy, but he took his chance today. Aspilicueta looks more comfortable in that right-hand side, got forward at every opportunity, and they got runners into the box. And, people have talked about Chelsea, they need a number 9, but today they showed that actually, with the fluid system, allows them to all do their stuff. And this was a goal here, just a brilliant goal. Cucurella winning the ball back, and then runners forward. And if you just see Gallagher here, he's just breaking his neck to put in a wonderful cross at that back post, and Havertz should really be scoring here. But last but not least, this is the goal. Mount getting that little bit of pocket of space. Pulisic just on this side, making that run. Wolves didn't know how to deal with him. It's going to be a nice little one-touch, and then back into him there, and it's a delightful dink. And Chelsea today were absolutely excellent. They really were.
Yeah. Potter seems to have got them in the right frame of mind. What's the key when you come to a club like that where you've got big players? How do you settle in?
I think one of the things that you probably put it down to is that once the guys see that you're putting on them sessions, that they think, wow, this is interesting. I think the only problem he's got is going to a different level of player, and he knows that he can't pick all of them. They know that it's going to take a lot of that squad to do what they're doing, Champions League, with the Premier League and everything. And all they want to see is that he's being fair with them. Good coaching stuff. You know, I think he's earned his right to be there. Ostend in Sweden and Swansea now, Brighton. He's earned his right to get there. I'm so pleased to see an English manager get a job like that.
Well, despite the fact Graham Potter made 7 changes to his starting 11 to their last league outing, that's their 3rd straight win in a week. What a great few days for him and his club.
Yeah, it's going to give him and the club massive confidence. Big job for Graham Potter. Really good result in the week in the Champions League, and then backing up again with another positive result. But they played really well, created opportunities. He's got players really believing in themselves now. I think under the Thomas Tuchel, towards the end, a little bit indifferent, not quite sure whether they were coming or going, what system to play. But under Graham Potter, the football that they're playing has been really, really good to watch. And as I said, he's given players real belief. So for him, it'll take massive confidence going into the next week's round of games, and they've got to keep moving onward and upwards.
What a great job for Potter to come into at Chelsea with the wealth of attacking players he's got at his disposal. Mason Mount has been under the spotlight of late, but talk to me about the quality of his 2 assists.
Now, today he was excellent. He looked as if he had his mojo back again and that confidence, and I think Graham's probably had a real influence on that, had a one-to-one with him and had a real good chat with him, and it looks like it's given him that confidence. Today I thought he was excellent. He's always going to give you everything. He was back defending at times, doing the job defensively, and he's got that little bit of everything, actually. But today he was effective with the ball again. He was back to his very, very best, confident, looking to put the cross in for Havertz, I think it was, the little tuck-in ball that he plays, you know, for the Pulisic goal. It was a terrific performance. It really was, and you know he's prepared to put in all the hard yards. Look, he makes little runs, little blindside runs in behind defenders. He's getting to the byline. It was a really good all-round performance. And this is a beautiful cross. He just cuts across it. He plays it in with great power to that back post, and it ends up at Havertz with a really good header. But his all-round game's excellent. Look, pulling away. He's a clever player.
This is eye of the needle stuff here, isn't it?
This is the one. I mean, what I like here, he knows there's no space, so he pulls away, comes behind the ball. You can't get picked up when you come behind the ball, and that is such a cute little ball for Pulisic and a great finisher.
Do you know what? He needed that performance. Last season was outstanding, had his best ever season last year, has come back this season. No goals, no assists. People asking the question, as you rightly said. I think he needed a big performance, and I think today you showed it. That's what the quality he's got. Maybe not have scored today, but the cross and the little assist for Pulisic. He is a top player, Mason Mount.
So many positives for Graham Potter. Conor Gallagher putting in another terrific performance after getting that late winner against Palace last time round. But Armando Broja, who we know was brilliant for Southampton last season on loan, but back at his club on a permanent basis, got his first goal for Chelsea.
Great goal, great timing of the run as well, because it's really on the edge, gets in behind, but it's the composure. And the finish is so assured. Sometimes, he knew, when he got the ball out wide, he knew exactly what he wanted to do with it. I mean, as I said, there times it to perfection. The moment he gets the ball here, he knows exactly what he wants to do. And the finish is brilliant. Really gets inside, really wraps his foot around it into that far corner. And he's playing like a man that wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club. Was on loan at Southampton, didn't want to go anywhere in the summer. I think we'll get more and more opportunities, I really do, this season.
Let's talk about one of his predecessors in that role, Diego Costa, back at the Bridge for the very first time as an opposition player. He only lasted 55 minutes, which isn't surprising, his first competitive outing. Since December, only 9 touches in the end. He came off and got given a standing applause. I suppose quite deservedly so from the Chelsea fans.
Well, from the fans, for sure. He left Chelsea under a cloud, if you remember, all the way back. But obviously the fans, they're in good mood because they were winning the game at the time. And, they've given him a real good send-off. They didn't get an opportunity to do that, obviously, when he went. So yeah, and it was quite emotional for him, you imagine, and he's waving and shaking hands with people, and it was quite a nice way for him to go off. He's probably pleased he was taken off at 55 minutes.
In terms of their longer-term results, that's just one win in 16 in the Premier League, and they've only scored 3 goals in 9 league games this season. They need to get somebody in on a full-time basis as soon as possible, don't they?
They do, yeah. I mean, it's what could they have to wait till January, unfortunately, to get somebody else in. But Diego Costa, I always thought maybe he would be good as a backup, but I don't think he'd ever be able to go in there and be the main man because, as you said, one competitive start, hasn't played a lot of football over the last couple of seasons, so. They've got to address that. Possession-wise, always keep the ball, play really nice stuff. But again, when you get to that final third, you need to be able to get someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. And unfortunately for them, they don't have that.
No, they haven't. And it doesn't matter. You know, they need a manager coming in. The manager needs to come in. But at the moment, obviously, he's got that hand of players to work with. And now someone's got to come in, a little bit like Eddie Howe, in many ways, and got to change the players that he's got.
Steady the ship.
Steady the ship. Start getting some goals. Start getting some goals, even if it's a 1-0. Start from a fresh, new page, and there's a lot of hard work for them to do. They could actually, if they continue in this vein, they could be in trouble this year.